Well, with another weekly rotation wrapping up, there's one thing for certain. I was in the mood for much more spicy fragrances this week. Definitely very autumn appropriate type of scent profiles. And it's week number 96. So stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, now this doesn't really fit the spicy theme. It's just versatile, wearable, one I haven't reached for in a while, and it's quite remarkable, to say the least. Pun intended, for Remarkable People by TLTG d'Orange. Aromatic, effervescent, has a little bit of the bubbly, some champagne note, very aromatic, fresh, very unisex, enjoyable. Nothing mold breaking here, but doesn't quite smell like everything else. I gotta give them that. There is a touch of uniqueness here by using that champagne note, and it's very aromatic without lavender, which is your most notable and well-known aromatic oil. Has a strong aromatic quality, a little soapy but not much. Has a beautiful bright like grapefruit type of note up top. Fizzy. It's very effervescent. It's not tart in any way. Nice woody nuance in the dry down. It does perform pretty well. It's a solid fragrance. And considering how most of the fragrances are from TLTG d'Orange, super wearable. Super wearable. Very enjoyable and easy to like. A lot of their fragrances paint a picture for you and want you to get an olfactory experience to bring you to that specific event or time or whatever they're trying to do. This, not so much. This is just an enjoyable fragrance that's worthy of a sample in my opinion. During the day, I ran with Remarkable People. Then I got the shower, just in the mood for it. Zaharoff Signature Rosé. This has a very therapeutic, calming effect on me. I tend to wear it at night a lot. Seems to be the main time I pull it out and want to wear it, honestly. Just love this fragrance. It's one of my favorite releases of the year. Awesome scent. A masculine rose, if there ever was one. You can sample these through Zaharoff. I urge you, try it. Even if you're not a fan of rose fragrances, it's still worthy of a sample because this might be the rose fragrance that you like. 3 different types of rose, strong incense, a nice sweetness, a warm wood smell from the oud. It doesn't have that oudy, medicinal, barnyardy smell. Extremely well done. Took the Signature Noir as a base and created Rosé. It was damn good too. Rose incense. Out the shower, Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Could not wait to wear this one. It was still warm, so I figured this was a good time to pull out this freshie. It is Molinard Figue. This stuff is legit. Not as bad of a performer as I was anticipating. One of the few fragrances my wife ever smelled and actually picked out the main note. I let her smell it on my skin. I didn't bring the bottle, so she didn't know it was called Figue. And she smelled it and she said, fig. I was so proud. I guess after all the fragrances I've made her smell, she's starting to distinguish a few things. And I mean, fig is a very specific scent scent to the oil, and even fig Newtons, you have that fig smell. Here it's got the C notes going with it. It's very watery, aquatic, fresh and fruity, a little soapy, lovely. And I actually got about 5 or 6 hours out of it. I'm good with that. I'm so good with that. $45 from Kingdom Fragrances. I don't know if they still have a stock of it. High quality fig fragrance. That's probably my favorite now, overtaking Carna Barcelona Fig Man. That was my favorite fig fragrance. I think this has overthrown it as my favorite. Try this one. Cheap niche. That's $45. Hard to beat. High quality scent, average performer, unique fig smell. Molinard Figue. Some good stuff. And the most disappointing rack store buy I've had in a while. Some of you know exactly what it is. I said I was going to give it a chance out the shower. Hugo Energized. It's not terrible. I just don't like it that much. It's okay. I can smell it. It's just kind of bland, you know. And I had somebody, as expected, because not everybody likes everything, and like I said in the video, somebody's going to disagree with me in the comments, and that's totally fine. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that like this. I'm just not a fan. And sure enough, I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yada, yada, yada. Look, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you won't like it. Just because you like it doesn't mean I will like it. That's just the name of the game with fragrances. Perfumery is an art form. And that's the most subjective thing in the world is artistry. What somebody deems gorgeous, another will deem complete and utter garbage. It's just the way it works out. Luckily, we don't all have the same exact taste because that would make the world kind of boring, wouldn't it? And that's where things like this come into play, where I'm sure there's a lot of people that love this and think 30 bucks for a 75 ml. Worth your money, great price, all that. I feel like I paid too much paying $30. Just being honest. And that's okay. I'll still wear it out the shower from time to time, but honestly, this is rarely going to get touched. I'm not the type that if I don't like something, I'm going to go return it. I bought it. I'm going to keep it. And once in a blue moon, I will wear it. Maybe wear it to the gym. Wear it out the shower like this. Because like I said, it's not bad. It doesn't stink. It's not a horrible smell. It just didn't make me happy or excite me in any way. I can typically find the good in most. And I just can't, as much as I try, I can't really find a whole lot of good going on here other than it doesn't stink. And if that's the only good thing I can find about it, it's just not a fragrance for me. Out the shower, Hugo Energize. Moving into Tuesday, this is definitely a fragrance for me. One of my favorites from Ralph Lauren. Hands down, it's my favorite in its own line, above the Extreme, above the Intense. I'm talking about Polo Red, the Eau de Parfum. I love the way this fragrance smells. My wife loves the way this fragrance smells. I think it was a good release last year. I believe it was last year. Yeah, last year it came out. And above average performer on my skin, 7 to 8 hour type of stuff. Really, really good projection for 2 hours, and even past that, it's still got a nice little trail, nice little scent bubble going, not too close to the skin. It's not a serious fragrance. It's very playful. It's got some bright freshness, some citrus, some orange up top. You do have this bright, crisp ginger note. It's a little spicy. You have that signature cranberry smell in there. It's sweet. It's a little richer than the others. Not richer than the Extreme. That's a bit different of a take on the scent profile because it's got so much coffee. The Intense even has the coffee going for it. This kind of falls somewhere in between the fresher ones and the Intense, with performance like the Intense, but more freshness than the Intense because it doesn't have the coffee in it. Lovely fragrance. Does not get talked about at all. I don't really ever see too many people mention it or see any scent of the day posts by anybody. Give this a try, guys. It's a solid fragrance. If you like anything about Polo Red, for me personally, this is the best that falls in the middle and takes the best characteristics of all across the line and puts it into one bottle. During the day, Polo Red EDP. Then I got the shower. I was smelling sweet all day. I decided to just stay fresh and clean with Mugler Cologne. You know, when I bought this, I wasn't planning on it being an out the shower scent for me, but it just works so well for that. Soapy clean, white, floral neroli. Fresh greens, bergamot, I believe it's petitgrain is one of the green notes in here. Very beautiful scent. I mean, nothing new. This has been around many, many years. One of the kings of the soapy clean fragrances. I mean, it smells like a fresh, luxurious bar of soap. Really does. And I don't know, I wasn't planning on it being an out the shower scent, even though it's kind of crazy to think I wasn't going to use it for that. But that's been its main use. When I wear it out the shower. Smells great. I get a few hours out of it. I'm happy. If you like soapy clean, it's a no-brainer. Out the shower, Mugler Cologne. Moving into Wednesday, this is another one of those fragrances I'm reaching back in my collection, just like with Polo Red EDP. Stuff I haven't worn in a while that I really do enjoy. This is a much more spicy green take on the original. I'm talking about Dior Eau Sauvage Extreme. Eau de Toilette Intense. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? You can just call it Eau Sauvage Extreme, I would think. It still smells like Eau Sauvage, but it's not a citrus aromatic bomb like the original. It's not as fresh. It does perform a little bit better. Average performer, slightly above average in the longevity. Not a room filler. First hour and a half, it's pretty strong though. And it does leave a decent trail following. Not quite a skin scent till several hours in, but spicy green fragrance. Very green, herbaceously spicy. The freshness is toned back. It's still there in the opening, but it's not the, you know, lemon citrus bomb that the original is, or anything close to what the cologne flanker is. And it doesn't have that denseness and resinous quality of the Parfum, which I love the Parfum. Haven't wore that in a while either. I may get to that one sooner rather than later, but I haven't wore this in a long time. It's been well over a year, and I gotta tell you, it was such a pleasure to wear this fragrance. It's pricey, even to get a tester. This was a tester bottle, and I believe when I paid for it about 1.5 years ago, maybe a little longer than that, it might even be almost 2 years ago at this point that I bought it, it was like $120 for a tester. So they're pricey, $115, $110, $120, somewhere around there for a tester. They're pricey. Not too many people have it. Not too many people talk about it or wear it. But if you like Eau Sauvage and you want a just more a more dense and spicy version of it, this is that. And the bottle's gorgeous too. I know that's irrelevant. Beautiful piano black with that classic twist style on the glass. That label. This is some good stuff. And of course, the Dior magnetic caps. Smells great. During the day, Eau Sauvage Extreme Eau de Toilette Intense. And then the other from my recent rack store hunt, I wore Energize out the shower a few days prior. Went with Eternity Flame out the shower. Not one you would typically expect from me out the shower, but I just wanted to wear it. It smells so good. The pineapple is dominant, but it still has that bubblegummy smell. Initially, I thought there just had to be some sage in here. And according to the note breakdown, I looked after the video, there's no sage whatsoever. There's some rosemary, and maybe that's what's creating that. The pineapple mixed with rosemary is kind of creating that bubblegummy smell that I'm getting. But I could have swore I was smelling sage in here. But definitely very fruity sweet. Gorgeous fragrance. Warm amber dry down. It does get a little powdery on my skin. Warm woody smell. It's a solid fragrance. They're out there cheap. Worthy of rolling the dice on. Is it mind-blowingly great? You've never smelled anything like it before? No. It walks the path of a typical blue fragrance, honestly, that's dominated by amber. This is a blue fragrance that's dominated by amber, is how I'd really consider it, to be honest with you. But it smells great. It performs pretty well. Not a beast, but not a basic, below average, somewhat weak fragrance. It falls somewhere in between the average to slightly above average in longevity and projection. Projection's nothing special, but it smells great. It's cheap. I paid $20 for this 50 ml, $15 to $30 depending on which size bottle you want. It's a really good fragrance in my opinion. Eternity Flame, Calvin Klein. Moving into Thursday, I haven't been spending much time with this one since I spent a bunch of time with it to do a review. But it was time. Another wonderful, woody, spicy fragrance that is so polarizing. Some people swear by it, and some people think it's not worth the hype. Dior Sauvage Elixir. And look, if you don't like it, that's totally fine. I get it. If it's too expensive for you for what it is, and you don't deem it worthy, it's all good. Man, I think it smells great though. I think this is such a good release for them. I think this is such a good release. Performance is there. The scent profile is delightful. It's the warm woody spice, the nutmeg, the cinnamon. It's got it going on. It really does. This is a gorgeous woody spicy fragrance. A little dry. That's the nutmeg doing that dry wood spice type of smell. I think it's great. Lasts forever and ever. It's a consistent projection where it's not room filling, but it's heavy enough, and it stays relatively heavy for several hours. Not real far out, but nice and consistent. I love that about this fragrance. I think it's great. Obviously, try before you buy, because yes, everybody's right. It's very expensive. Some deem it overpriced for a designer, and hey, I'm not going to argue that point. This is crazy high for a 60 ml designer. It's $155 before taxes. I get it. But I deemed it worthy of buying. I bought it for full retail. I sampled first, which you guys know I like the thrill of rolling the dice with the blind buy. And this was one I made sure I sampled first, and I deemed it worthy. And you might do the same if you sample it. Just get out and try it. You never know if you don't try it during the day. Dior Sauvage Elixir. Then when I got the shower, another one. I went kind of left turn for a lot of these out the shower fragrances from what I normally do. Dunhill Desire, the original. Haven't wore this in a long time. Vanilla, woody, a little spicy. Great fall fragrance. This is a great fall fragrance. And you can get 100 mLs like this. They pop up at the rack stores for 20 bucks. I haven't seen them at the rack stores in a while. But even online, sub $30 range, this is a great fragrance. There's been a ton of flankers spawned through this line. The original is no slouch. I want to smell it again. We'll spray it a little more. It's solid. I did a full review on this one 2 years ago, way back on the channel. And this is another one of those fragrances I'm reaching back in my collection to spend some time with, because I've gotten so many fragrances over the years and continue to get more and more. I have another haul coming, hommages and all kinds of stuff I've been buying. Moustache EDP by heavy request by you guys. I always have something coming in. So great fragrances like this tend to take a back seat, and that's why I want to reach back to some of these gems in my collection that have just been sitting there collecting dust. And it was just a wonderful pleasure to wear this. If you haven't tried it, you really should. You're not going to spend a lot of money. One of the better cheapies out there. Dunhill Desire. Moving into Friday, all the hype with Happy Land right now. Such a great release. EJ did such a wonderful job with Diabolique. This is a spicy, creamy, sweet delight. This stuff is so damn good. I've been seeing people's scent of the day posts all over the place for this one, and I'm with you guys. This stuff is great. Shameless was a great release for the house. This was a back-to-back great set of releases for Happy Land. EJ, many people, including myself, have called you a genius before. That stands true. You're doing some really good things, my man. Happy Land Studio, small indie niche, originals. You guys need to try it. Get a sample pack. You can sample the whole house. He'll make you a sample pack of every fragrance he makes, which is over 20 now. Or you can pick out individual samples and he'll make you a custom sample pack. Or you can just get a sample of this and just try this one without committing to a bottle. There's some really good stuff coming from Happy Land. And in my opinion, this immediately propels into the top 5. As Shameless did for me as well. So that says a lot when you got new releases jumping to the forefront of all of your offerings. Try this one, guys. I'm telling you, if you like spicy, it's got this violet note up top that tends to fade pretty quickly. Present patchouli. There's some sweetness here. This thick caramel comes in to really make this thick creaminess in the background in the dry down. Lovely cardamom spice. It's a great fragrance. During the day, Diabolique. I'm telling you, it's a great release. And then him and Strike Gold Shave just re-released the Happy Land Studio and Strike Gold Shave Barbershop Shave set. So I still have some of my original set, but EJ told me he increased the oil concentration to make it a stronger scent. So I had to shave with it. I went ahead and shaved with it, and yes, it is much more potent. The soap still lathers just as awesome as the original. I still have like half of my 5-ounce puck of the original, and I think I'm down to like right here on my splash. So I still have plenty of the splash left because this restrictor, I was talking about it in the video yesterday, this restrictor is the best in the industry, in my opinion. Have I tried every Artisan's aftershave splash out there? No. But this particular restrictor, you can really dial in what goes in your hand, so your aftershave splash goes a lot further. I love that about this. And then, of course, anytime I have a fragrance that matches a shave set, I always give myself a few sprays. I did 2 half sprays, one on each side of the neck, with Happy Land Barbershop, because this fragrance is crazy strong. It's a leather-dominant barbershop fragrance. If you're looking for a fantastic leather-dominated barbershop fragrance, Happy Land's got you covered there. A bunch of bright orange up top. Has some spices and some aromatics, a little touch of ambroxan that I don't even really pick up in the fragrance. But this beautiful soft leather note. Whew, man, masculine, potent, and powerful. That's why I only did like 2 little, when I say half sprays, it was really like that. Not even half spray, like a third of a spray, which is like a normal spray for any other fragrance. For most fragrances anyways. So, out the shower, it was a Happy Land kind of day. Happy Land Barbershop shave soap, aftershave splash, and the fragrance. Finally, on Saturday, this is my first full wearing. Now, I have not taken this. It's Saturday evening that I'm recording this. I have not taken my shower yet, so we'll go over what I'm planning on wearing out the shower after. But this was my first full wearing, and I'm still don't know exactly how I feel about this one yet. Nishane B612. So it was very unimpressive on the paper in my last large haul video when I did a first impressions on it. And it's lovely. I'm not sitting here saying it's not a great fragrance. It's just I'm still not sure how good it is yet. Because the projection was pretty heavy in the first hour and a half, 2 hours. It stuck around. I mean, hell, let me see if I still smell a strong woody smell coming off of my chest, and it is 10 hours later. Okay, so 10 hours still going. I don't know. It's not the scent profile I expected it to be, but it's still really good. I didn't realize how dominant the cypress note was going to be. It's very cypress forward, that sharp green freshness up top that I do enjoy, and it does start to nuance a bit, but the cypress seems to dominate a lot. It doesn't change a ton. It doesn't nuance as much as I expected it to. I think because there's so many layers and it's so complex that nothing else really wants to jump out at me. I just get this woody green fresh scent the whole way through. So I'm not going to pass complete judgment on it just yet. It is very fall forward, very autumn dominating type of scent profile. I think it's great for autumn, especially dressier. I definitely was underdressed for the scent profile. I think that's part of why I'm not really sure how I feel about it, because I was wearing this breast cancer awareness t-shirt today. It's a performance polyester shirt with a flat bill hat. You know, I'm not really dressed up for this type of scent profile. I feel like I should have been in an Oxford for this type of scent. So next go around, I'm going to dress accordingly, and we'll see how I feel. I'm going to give it a few more wearings, and I'll probably do a full review on this one. But where I stand right now, it's a very good fragrance, but I don't really see exactly where it fits in my wardrobe just yet. So more to come on this one. Nishane B612. And then when I get out the shower in a little bit, I'm going with a classic floral fragrance. Versace Blue Jeans. Another one that goes right back to the reaching back in my collection stuff. I haven't worn this in a long time. This was the first floral fragrance I ever got that I really enjoyed. This was my very first floral heavy fragrance that I was just like, wow, that smells great. And it's a vintage classic. I mean, this hit my other light. This isn't a super old bottle, but it's old enough. This bottle's a few years old, and I haven't put the biggest dent in it, so I didn't wear it a whole lot. But I need to wear it more. It deserves to be worn more. So out the shower tonight, I'm going to be smelling great. I'm going to go with Versace Blue Jeans. Well, that was week 96, and until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What did you wear this week? It was very autumn appropriate this week for me. Really, literally every single choice, except for, I guess, technically Molinard Figue, was suited perfectly for fall. And that really wasn't a bad choice. It was just a fresher, fruitier fragrance. It was really the freshest thing besides two out the shower fragrances, Mugler Cologne and Hugo Energize. Everything else, including most of my out the shower fragrances, were geared towards the fall. A lot more spicy stuff, fresh spicy, warm spicy, woody spicy. A lot of spices. I really dig that type of stuff for the fall. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances I wore in my last rotation, you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.